talk us through the decision-making process to do an overhaul?
That was literally a gut feeling. Last night we talked about it as a staff, and I was like, I don't think that's a good idea. And then this morning I woke up and I was like, let's do it. And so we stuck with it. But again, just working to get every player ready for when their name is called, and there might be a stretch where we aren't making any subs here coming up. So I thought this was a great opportunity to get more people involved and see what they can do and get them comfortable for when they're needed, because there's going to be big moments that I believe we're going to need a good handful of players that aren't starters.
You didn't have any dreams or anything that just
No.
a gut feeling that
No dreams. Yeah.
Why do you like doing that right away from the start of the match instead of like late in sets or in the third set?
I just think it gives them even more confidence that we trust them when you're like, hey, we're going with this. We're starting with this, and we're not going to just feel it out and get way ahead and then put you in. I think it's a way different vibe coming off the bench. This is more like it's on them to get it done and perform, and they're not leaning on the starters to get a big lead and then they can just coast it. So I thought it was good too. Like Grand Canyon played well, and we had to work through a few things, and they did.
Double for T. What do you think of the way that she played 6 rotations and her growth in that area?
Yeah, she did a really nice job. Really challenged her to mix up her shots. She's like a power hitter, so she thinks she can power through everybody. So she's got to learn to get her feet there and hit deep, hit line, mix up her depth, which when she does that, she gets kills. When she's trying to power through the block, that's when she actually gets blocked.
What was it like to see that group have some pressure on them at the end of the second set? And
Yeah.
you're having to call timeouts to finish that thing off?
Yeah, it was really good, and I was pretty worried that we might drop that set, so which I did not want to do. But I wanted that group to work through it and feel what a little pressure feels like, where somebody has to make a play in a big moment of that match. So I thought it was a great job. Campbell, I know she had some miscues, but just the look in her eyes is always a look of confidence. And when we came out of that huddle, like I knew we were going to win and she was going to make a play. So it was a really good moment for her.
Is it weird getting interviewed by John Cook?
It was weird. I was laughing a little bit. I love how he was telling me things while asking me a question. He's still a little coachy.
How are your practices set up? So can I imagine there are lineups that you may not see that often, or practice as a group together? Is your practice kind of?
Well, usually once a week we mix teams, so that's a group that's probably practiced together quite a bit. We try to mix teams once a week, and then the other days focus on maybe starters or how we're going to start the weekend. So I don't think that was a shock to play next to somebody new out there. They've done it.
Yeah, you use Bergen as a serving specialist?
Well, no, she usually has to set. We only have 2 setters, but that was more, I just felt like she could go on a run, and she's one of our best defenders, so.
Was this kind of done to see what you do, but also save their legs a little bit for the Creighton match on Tuesday?
A little bit, and having a 4-gamer last night, and then with Creighton being a quick turnaround, and we really only get, 1 practice, well 2, but you want to go light one of those days, so I wanted to make sure that the team felt really fresh to go pretty hard one of those days, whether we decide to do that tomorrow or Monday in Omaha. So this would set us up for better prep for Creighton.
How special is that matchup to have two programs that are ranked in Nebraska play in a place like CHI?
Yeah, I haven't been obviously back for 8 years, but I'm really looking forward to this game because it is a big deal for the state, and it's just a testament of how awesome volleyball is here, with Creighton being so good, and Nebraska obviously with all the tradition. But Creighton's a very, very good team, and they're always a very confident team. So it's going to be a tough game for us, and also into that big arena, just with a Final Four feel, and it's going to be. I'm sure it's not sold out, but it's going to be packed. So.
What's the value of already having played in 2 big arenas before going up there?
Yeah, I think that's huge. Our players shouldn't be shocked or feel surprised or feel overwhelmed. It should be, feels like we played half our games this preseason in big arenas.
Couple more?
Looking at the Nebraska Creighton rivalry as it is, it's a brand new chapter with you in your first year here with the Huskers.
Brian's in his first year at Creighton. Does that make it any more different for you than what it would have been if potentially you would have been coaching against Kristen?
Not really. Yeah, I do think there's a little bit of, it would have been kind of neat, I'll say, to have two women in the state going against each other, at least for a few years, but other than that, it doesn't really change much. You know, I know Brian's a great coach, and obviously Creighton trusted him to take over an amazing program, so.
Just how has that program, grown since the days when you were a player and that?
Yeah, it's crazy. I remember when I was a recruit going to Creighton for a team camp, and they showed me around, and I was like, what is this place? I think they weren't winning any games, period. 0 wins maybe the season before, and then to see Kirsten just completely turn that around and turn them into a powerhouse where, they're in the mix for top recruits, and they're always knocking at the door of the Final Four. So just, extremely impressive what they've been able to do.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you all.